Fortnite OG is just around the corner, and while it looks very promising, there is one major issue that has been a major point of contention in the community as of lately: the movement. Epic themselves has confirmed that Chapter 6 movement will not be in OG. However, ShinyBR has confirmed that OG will have tactical sprint, clambering, door bashing, and sliding. If you don't remember, clambering is where you're able to climb on the side of player-built walls. In this video, I'll discuss what this means for OG moving forward, as well as giving my own takes on the movement in OG. One of my main concerns with the current state of movement is that the pacing is going to be far too fast for the OG mode. Sprinting may lead to the entire lobby just dying early on, especially since there's so few named POIs. The players will be bunched closer together at the start of the matches, and the sprinting will allow them to kill each other even faster than they would normally. One of the primary arguments for new movement is quality of life. We're already so used to it in our regular battle royale, so why not have it in OG as well? However, that first of all defeats the whole point, and secondly, these changes of movement are so big that it would definitely impact the flow and gameplay of the Chapter 1 map. This argument also assumes that everyone who's going to be playing this mode has been playing Fortnite for over the last 3 years. That's not the case. A lot of people are going to be coming back for the first time in over 4 or 5 years, and you got to take them into account as well. As they're looking for a truly authentic experience, and this might just be the nail in the coffin for them that turns them away from OG. Another argument I often see against the old movement is that it'll be way too slow, and I feel like that's okay. OG can be slow. That's part of what made it so special. In fact, having this slow pacing will help serve as a nice alternative to the faster paced Chapter 6. And I believe the juxtaposition of the two modes will help increase the longevity of OG. Now, all the points I just made were against tactical sprinting, which is confirmed to be coming back. And honestly, I don't mind if tactical sprinting is in OG. However, mantling and hurdling should absolutely stay out of it in builds. I don't understand the community's mindset that just because the movement is in builds means it has to be in zero builds the same way. Epic can make zero builds have different movement than builds. I mean, zero builds and builds have different mechanics already. For example, builds has vending machines, zero builds does not. They can easily make it so that zero builds has mantling and hurdling on top of all the other movement options, as that's what makes sense for zero builds. These are different modes, they can have different stuff. Epic doesn't have to introduce all these new mechanics into builds just to appease the zero build players. They can have separate stuff. Both modes can get what they need to be successful. Especially for builds, Epic's main goal should be to preserve what made OG Fortnite special, and part of that is the reduced movement options. It's a much simpler game. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this video, mantling. I have not heard much people talk about this, but mantling needs to not be in builds. It is so important to what makes OG Fortnite work. One of the largest strengths of the OG map is that it emphasizes the sandbox of Fortnite. You have to use player-built structures to get to lots of chests. If you want to climb up the building, get to the top of a roof, you need to place a ramp. The map is very open, so you need to build bases to protect yourself. Mantling, very intentionally, by design, it reduces your need to build. It reduces the amount of times you have to interact with the sandbox that makes the game so special. Over the past few years, I've begun to notice, I literally never build unless I'm in a fight. It's gotten to the point where all this new movement has piled up and has made building almost obsolete unless you're actively engaged with an opponent. Now, if Epic really wants to make this authentic, they would get rid of turbo building, which I highly doubt they would do, but it would be pretty fun, especially as like a side mode. I mean, if you guys don't remember, turbo building wasn't even introduced until Season 3, so technically it would be accurate, but it would also help, well, restore the feeling of no one knowing how to build. Now, I highly doubt Epic will go this far, but a good first step for them would be to revert to at least some form of OG movement. Another big point of contention is that many players want the old animations back, and as of recording, we are unsure if we will be seeing them or not. Now, I'm going to be honest, this might be an odd take, but I couldn't care less if they bring it back. If they bring it back, cool. If they don't, also cool. The difference in the animation is so minuscule to me that it just doesn't matter to me in the slightest. The thing is, Epic has already taken steps in order to try to make this feel as authentic as possible, such as the OG weapon models and double pump, so it would shock me if they did nothing to the movement system, which, I mean, I think they're going to try to at least do something to help emulate the feel of old Fortnite. Epic has already gone so far to recreate this OG feeling, so why would they stop there? They're probably going to do something to the movement, and whether it be at launch or a few days later after people start complaining, who knows how it's going to go. Maybe people want old movement, maybe old movement will be back and people want the new movement because it's too slow. Only time will tell. It is of my opinion that Epic can do something truly special with this mode, and having old movement can be part of that. I agree that things like reboot vans should be in OG, but why would we spend all this time and resources recreating an OG version of Fortnite if we're going to want it to feel the exact same as it does in Chapter 5 and 6? It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Tell me in the comments below. I'm sure there's lots of different opinions on this, and we genuinely don't know how this is going to go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.